Hello, friends from all around the world. This is John from Conscious Beginnings with my little friend here, Oscar, our neighbor's dog. He's been with us for this afternoon because the neighbor is out. So please let me know from where you're joining and give me a thumbs up. It's so good to be with you again. And today I would like to talk to you about something that affected me recently. It's called the trance of unworthiness. What happened was, in a nutshell, I'll share my story. It was a public holiday here in Australia on Wednesday. It was the Anzac Day, and as you may know, that I actually run my own private practice or own business, so there's never a time for public holidays. I kind of keep pushing through the day and ticking things off the box. Hey, Oscar. And what happened was, in the morning, my wife and I were working on some new projects, getting some marketing material done for our next project, which is presenting at a small business expo in Brisbane in 2 weeks. And after we done that, a part of me wanted to take some hours off in the afternoon and just wanted to relax and chill. And when the moment I decided to do that, there was this other part of me started to kind of beat myself up, start saying things like, well, no, you got to do more, you got to, don't be lazy, keep working. And there was this battle between two parts of me. And I was kind of caught in the middle, started to feel frustrated, and I had no idea at the time what was actually going on. So what happened was that I got caught up in this trance of unworthiness. And I'd like to talk to you about this. This concept was developed by Tara Brach, a US psychologist, and I'll make sure to make a link to her incredible work so that you can check out more and find out more about her work. But in a nutshell, I'd like to talk to you about what happened. Sorry, Oscar is getting a little distracted here. So what happened for most of us is that we started to value ourselves based on our achievements, things that we accomplish throughout our day, how much money we make, what career we get established. And it's based on doing more and more. And we stop valuing ourselves based on who we really are. And I'd like to talk to you a bit more about what happens when we get caught up in this trance. So for me, what happens is that I start kind of losing the perspective on the present moment. And I start becoming like, so I'm just looking through my notes at the same time. And I kind of get caught up and start being like, okay, being like this little kid. And often this is what happens for many people when we lose the touch with the present moment awareness. We regress back into these inner children that we are at times. So what happens is that for me, I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, when I was really little, about 5 or 6 years old, I do have a 4-year older brother. And he was good at many things. He was good at academics, he was good at sports, he was in the basketball team, and he had a great social life. So I'm looking up to this guy, I'm trying to, compete with him, get it's almost like seeking recognition, and in this state of competition. This is what we call in psychology sibling rivalry, very, very common term. But whatever I tried to do at the time, it was never good enough. I never managed to achieve his level. And please keep in mind that there's a 4-year age gap between both of us. So sooner or later, what happened is that I started to have these beliefs around, I'm not as good as my brother. I'm 6 years of age, and when I grew older, this subconscious belief started to take over, and it kind of became a subconscious mantra, I'm not good enough. So whenever I was starting a new project in my adult life, a new job, something that I really wanted to do, I was passionate about, the belief will take over. I'm not good enough, or you're not good enough. Like my mind will be talking to me. And I would feel fearful, anxious, worried, and sometimes I would even stop my projects before even starting them, just because of that fear and the belief around not being good enough. So today I would like to give you some tips around, hello Oscar, I would like to give you some tips around what helped me to come out of this trance of unworthiness. So maybe you can start these tips in your own life as well. So number one, please start doing something that will deepen your self-awareness. What I started to do back in the days, about 12 years ago, I got into a practice of mindfulness, meditation, started psychotherapy, group therapy processes that enhanced my levels of awareness. So I started to actually start seeing all these subconscious beliefs and thoughts that were happening in the background. And often these are repetitive thoughts happening very quickly, and most of the time we are not aware of that. And guess what? 90 to 95% of the time, your subconscious mind is actually running the show. Our conscious mind is responsible for about 10% of our waking life. So whatever your subconscious beliefs are, it is really worthwhile to start becoming or getting an understanding of what is running you okay, Oscar? What is running your background? What is your background story? Do you have a story like mine, that I was not good enough for some reason because I believed as a 6-year-old child that I didn't measure up to the expectations, to my own expectations, and the expectations that I was comparing myself with my 4-year-old brother. The second tip that I would like to give to you is please slow down, take a couple of deep breaths, and start reflecting on your thoughts. Start asking yourself the questions. What am I thinking myself? What am I thinking right now? Is it true? Start seeing your thoughts from a distance and start questioning them. What is the evidence that I'm not good enough? On Wednesday, if I question myself, what is the evidence that I haven't done enough? Because there's no evidence. I've been working really hard for the last couple of weeks and for the last couple of months, and I definitely deserved a couple of hours of downtime. But when I wanted to take that, it just kind of my mind, my inner mind chatter started to beat myself up. So slow down and start looking for the evidence. Often there is no evidence, and just because your mind is telling you something, it is not the absolute truth. It's not the absolute truth. So start questioning your thoughts. Start questioning these subconscious beliefs and programmings that have been developed from a really early age. For most of us, up to 75% of these subconscious programmings are developed between ages 0 to 7, according to Dr. Bruce Lipton. So I was running this old story in my head that was affecting my life. Now, the third tip that I would like to, please, Oscar, don't chew my cables. The third tip that I would like to talk to you about is whenever we get caught up in this trance of being unworthy, we often go into, I'm not sure if you can see this, but we start acting like, let me just try this. We get caught up in this, we become like children. For me, I was going back in age 6, and if I show up as 6 years of age, life is overwhelming. There's so many things to do. I have no idea how to do them. As a 6-year-old kid, I had no clue. So the question is, how can we get back into our adult self? I'm not sure if you can actually read that. Please let me know if you can. Because today I'm a 39-year-old adult who has a lot more skills. I've studied, I have more wisdom, and I can show up and do things for myself. I don't have to be overwhelmed by the demands of life. So the third question is, how can you make your way from being a child into being an adult? I'm kind of noticing that you can't actually read this. And I'm actually willing to do another video because I think it's a really important topic. How do we actually come out of this inner child and start looking after inner children and show up as an adult in this world? Just to sum up, The 3 tips that I would like to leave you with: first of all, get into some sort of habit that will help you develop a deeper level of self-awareness. Whatever that is for you, please try it out. Mindfulness practices work really well for me. Psychotherapy, breath work, just do something. Develop that level of self-awareness and start seeing your subconscious beliefs and programmings. If you want to change your behavior, we need to become aware of what kind of programmings we are actually running in the background. Second of all, slow down and reality check your thoughts. Notice your thoughts and start questioning them. Don't believe in your thoughts blindly just because your mind is telling you something. And the third one is, how quickly can you get back into your adult self? Because this is where you want to be operating on as an adult in this world. And when I work with people, it's sometimes really interesting to see how quickly they can regress back into being a child and feel overwhelmed and afraid in life. So this is what really happens for many of us. We lose the present moment awareness. We get hijacked by our minds into our past experiences and start feeling like, you know what? I'm like a 6-year-old kid. I have no idea what to do next. So please, reality check and do something about it. Get into these habits, and take that time. Whenever you feel tired, whenever you feel the need of relaxation, chilling out a little bit, do that. If it's an hour, take that hour. If it's a week, take that week. Because when you do that, you will show up in your next meeting, in your next task, in a way that you're rejuvenated, that you're ready for the task. We can't keep going and going and going, right? We're not machines. We're not built that way. We all need this downtime. We all need to look after ourselves. So please don't let your mind dictate what you should be doing. Check in with your needs, notice what's happening in the background, and take action. Take ownership of your life. Show up as an adult. You have a lot more resources than you think you are at times. If you don't get caught up in the trance of unworthiness, we can achieve so much more. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Please give me a thumbs up, make some comments. Ask any questions if it resonated with you, and share this video with friends so that we all can wake up from this trance of unworthiness. I look forward to seeing you next week. Say bye, Oscar. Oh, he's not interested. Okay then. Have a wonderful weekend, and looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye.